What is going on, everybody? Car Guy V8 here with another video. And today I'm going to be showing you just how easy it is to use a dial back timing light. A lot of videos make this look very complicated, but it is not difficult at all. So let's jump right into it. This right here is the Innova 3551A timing light. This is one of the cheapest timing lights you can find, and it fires a strobe light the second that spark passes through the spark plug wire. So this will tell you your exact timing based on the timing tab down by the balancer. But we're not going to be dealing with this today. We're going to be dealing with its big brother, the Innova 355A dial back timing light, which, as you can see, it has this dial on it to delay the strobe light. If we have it set on 0 degrees right here, it will function identically to this Innova, the 3551A. But once we start turning this dial up, it will delay the effects of the strobe light so that you can get a precise reading of the engine's timing. To better illustrate this, let's actually go outside and set up this timing light, and I will show you its function on a small block Chevy. The first thing we're going to do is power the timing light. We're going to put the positive wire to the positive and negative to the negative. Now we are going to connect the inductive pickup to the cylinder 1 spark plug wire, which on small and big block Chevys and Mopars, it is the front driver's side spark plug wire, and on small and big block Fords, it's the front passenger side spark plug wire. Next up, we're going to remove the vacuum advance and cap the port on the carburetor. This is extremely important because if you leave the vacuum advance connected, as the engine goes through various stages of vacuum, it will skew the readings and you will not be able to set the timing accurately. Since it is broad daylight out here, I went ahead and marked the balancer with a paint pen, and I also marked the timing tab with a paint pen on the 0 degree mark. You could also use a thing of chalk or anything to help you better see the mark. So next up, we're going to go ahead and fire up this engine and check its timing at idle, which is called the initial timing. Then we're going to rev the engine to a little past 3,000 RPMs so we can check the total timing, because there are little springs in the distributor that as the engine revs, these springs stretch out and they change the timing slightly and advance the timing further, usually an additional 15 to 20 degrees of mechanical advance. So we've got to check the timing at idle and around 3,000 RPMs. The engine is up to temperature, as you can see. It's easier to do this when the engine is warm so that you're not fighting a cold-natured engine. Let's fire it up. Go ahead and take this light. I'll try to get this where y'all can see both. Now roll this dial up. It's probably hard to see on camera, but we have about, what is that? I'm looking through the camera lens. Looks like about 17 degrees of initial timing. Now we're going to bring the timing up. I'm going to try to do this where you can see, and I hope I won't be in the way. I need 3 hands right now. Now, if you could see that, we're sitting right at about 34 degrees total timing, 17 degrees initial timing in this Vortec headed 355, which for this engine with these heads, that is plenty. So as you can see, this is actually very simple. All you do is you rotate this dial until you see the balancer mark line up with the 0 degree mark on the timing tab, and then you know that is what your actual timing advance is at the current RPM you're running at. And if your numbers are not where you want them, then you go to the old distributor and you turn it counterclockwise or clockwise until you get the timing setting that you want. I hope this video helped somebody. Thank you for watching.